Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is March 25th and it's ridiculous out. We have snow blowing sideways. So spring is here, just going back and forth, recalibrating. So let's see what it has to say. Hey, Barbara. Today I have the power to change my story. Tapping clears the way for me to change my story. My story can change because of the tapping. The shifts in perspective it can bring change my story without me trying to change it. As I keep honoring all of my feelings, as I find more relief from the learned limits I unknowingly adopted, my story unfolds independent of any agenda, and my life comes through me in amazing ways. This happens because my true self is now the one guiding me through this journey called life. Thought for the day: as I tap through the limiting story I've learned to see as my truth, in air quotes, these self-imposed limits dissipate and my outlook becomes more positive without me really trying. And that is what I love about tapping too, because in our culture, about myself and my life can keep me stuck. I choose to honor this truth right now. Even though I tell myself a lot of different stories. And of course I do. I learned to do that so long ago, when the learned limits entered my life. Even though I have different stories for different circumstances that I see can really limit me. But I like the idea that I can change these stories over time by honoring the stories I tell and tapping through them. I have to slow it down so you can repeat my words. Go to the eyebrow. These stories I've learned to tell myself, especially over time. These are learned limits. And the beauty is I can shift them. Even if it feels impossible right now. If I just meet myself where I'm at, this feels impossible. And tap through that. I can start to feel a difference. I can start to notice, wow, it feels a bit more possible. Not try to get happy. Try to think positive. Try to ignore my story. Try to tell a new story when I'm deeply entrenched in the old story, the familiar story. But as I go into that story and honor it while tapping through it, I start to find relief. The story starts to shift and change without me trying to change it. Because as I release these learned limits over time, a better, more true story for me comes shining through. So take a breath. And again, you've heard me probably say this before. That's been my journey. Is I'm not trying to think positive now. I'm not trying to do it. I'm just like, oh, that's where I'm at. So I tap through it, and then all of a sudden I notice, the clouds part, the veil lifts, and I just start to feel better. You're so welcome, Michelle and Barbara. Great to see you here. And if you found this helpful, just go back and tap on it as many times as you need to. And again, it's just the reminder of, I don't have to try to think positive. I don't have to try to tell a new story. I can meet myself. That's the beauty of tapping. I get to speak my current truth, the current state of affairs, tap through that, and all of a sudden a new story emerges that comes from the true self. All right, take care. Bye for now. See you next time.